You do not need to be a trader to appreciate this video and what I'm about to share with you. In fact, if you have any interest in the market whatsoever, if you own any individual stocks, ETFs, you have a 401k, an IRA, a retirement account, you might want to indulge yourself these next few minutes. Let me introduce myself and let me introduce you to what we call SMC, Stock Market Caddy, the Swing Machine Plus. I'm going to show you a lot of information very quickly and how in the span of just 5 or 10 minutes a week, none of these moves that the market makes can get past you. First, today is Saturday, March 29th at about 1:45. The first quarter of 2025, the first quarter of the Trump presidency has come to a close, and the markets have had a rough March. We had been saying for months, beware the Ides of March, and it very well could be getting much worse, but let's take an objective look. SMC Swing Machine is an algorithmic trading tool, investment tool that we make available to our monthly members nightly. They get to see this every night. Annual members get to have this on their desktop. Now they must go through a trading school for those that are interested. We want to make sure that we provide not just the tool, but the education on how to use it. But let me show you something at a glance. We're going to start here, the ES, futures contract. This is the S&P 500. This is the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, silver, oil, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the euro, and even the US dollar. You get to change the interval to what any interval you are most interested in. Maybe you are an investor. You don't want to pay any attention, and you shouldn't, to the intraday traffic or the daily traffic or even the weekly traffic. You're only interested in the monthly. And those monthly signals, because they're monthly, will be few and far between. So let me show you. The VIX itself is the fair gauge. 56 months ago, Swing Machine signaled to get short the VIX. At a price of 102, believe it or not, 102.51. Back during the days of probably COVID leading up to it. That would have been the entry price. If you had shorted the VIX, yes, you'd be up some $81,000. But let's hold off on that. The VIX is usually the inverse of the markets. The ES signaled along 172 months ago, back in December of 2010. And if you had taken that long and used a mini futures contract, yes, you would be up $202,000. The percentage return is much higher because the futures contract is leveraged. The amount of capital would have been less than $17,000, so it's many-fold. Many people use these futures signals to indicate what they might want to do with their exchange-traded funds, the ETFs, their dollar cost averaging. Do I want to be in the market or out of the market? That sort of thing. Now, I'm not going to comment on every single market, but we look at the NASDAQ, 182, 308,000. The Dow, the Russell is underwater a little bit. Gold, nearly $100,000 in just 28 months. It might be there for 100 months. One never knows, when or how long a trade will last. But it's not possible for it to get past us, and I'll show you in a moment why. Silver, 40. Oil, 22. Bitcoin, 18 months, 192,000. Ethereum is underwater. Euro, short, 21,000 in 46 months. The amount of capital that would have taken would have been just 3,500. Dollar, long on a monthly, 42 months ago. How much capital would it have taken? $2,000. $2,000 is now worth 13.6. Much bigger return than just the difference between the entry price and where it's trading now because it's leveraged. But maybe the monthly signal is too big, too slow. Don, I want to have a better view so I can make more timely decisions. Let me show you what we can do, or you could do. Change all symbols to a weekly view. This might be more of the swing trader, still an investor. And check this out. Let's pause on the VIX. We won't speak to the VIX right now, but the ES on a weekly basis, it's getting short right now. On a weekly. It's very noteworthy. Same thing with the NASDAQ. The Dow has been long for 71 weeks. A futures contract has returned nearly $20,000, much more than 10.23. This is just the difference between, again, the entry and where it is. But because it's leveraged, the amount of capital is a multiple. You didn't need nearly that much capital. Gold, 72 weeks ago, Swing Machine said to get long gold at 21.96. If you had done that with one futures contract, you're up 91 grand. Silver at 27.15 and still strong, 38 grand. Here's Bitcoin, long 76 weeks ago. 76 weeks ago, a futures contract, 216. Here's Ethereum, short, 7 weeks ago, 44 grand. So if you are a hodler of Ethereum and you have your stack that you don't want to sell, you could hold on to your stack, but you could come into the futures market and do what? Hedge that stack. Get short. You would still own the coins, but you would still have some $45,000 in value protected. The euro and the dollar on a weekly, really just getting underway. But you want to be even more active. Let me show you something. A push of a button. Don, I want to see the markets on a daily basis. I have the time. I have the skill set. Let's change them all. Now what do we see? The VIX 22 days ago went long. That was a signal to our monthly members and to our annual members that the markets were getting ready to do what? To sell down. And in fact, when we look at the ES, it actually went short just a couple of days before, 24 days ago. If you had shorted one mini contract, you would be up $20,000. Maybe that could have hedged a long only portfolio on another account. NQ 23 days ago, 38,000. The YM 25, 10,000. The Russell 68 days ago, 11. Gold 55 days ago, getting long one mini contract, $36,000. Silver 42 days ago, 15,000. Oil just getting short. Here's Bitcoin, short Bitcoin. Keep your stack, but hedge it. 33 days ago, $61,000 in value. Ethereum, short 55 days ago, nearly 70,000, 69,350 in value. And then look at the euro on a daily, long, 2,600. The dollar, short, 2,500. This position combined is close to $5,500, $6,000. How much capital does it take to get long the euro and short the dollar, about $5,000. You're up over not 2%, you're up over 100%. Holy smokes, Don. What if yes, what if you wanted to be an active trader? You wanted to go through Q School and learn what we're doing, what you could do, learn to trade your game. Let's change this to a 5-minute interval. Friday, the VIX, it goes long at 10:05, responding to the market. That tells us, confirms to us that the market is likely, the sell-off is likely to continue, because you see the ES contract, it went short at 8:15, 62.87 up real time right now. The NASDAQ goes short at 9:30. At the close of business on Friday, you would be up $11,000. How much capital would it have taken to get short that contract? Are you ready? $2,500. You're up 500% in a day. You see, that's how they get to build those big buildings in New York and in Chicago and in London and Sydney, all over the world, folks. Are you only buying? Are you never selling? Now, I don't want to give anyone the impression that these profits are automatic. You must learn if you want to trade at this level or even smaller. You must learn to trade. And if you want to learn to trade algorithmically, computer-based trading, what we are doing, what we have been doing for the last decades, please visit Stock Market Caddy, CADDIE.com. Review the website. Learn about what we offer when we talk about Q School. Nobody is going to spend the time that I'm going to spend with you. 3+ weeks. It's a mentorship. And at the conclusion of that mentorship, you're going to get the opportunity to have worked with a lot of these programs, Swing Machine, and some 70 other proprietary tools. And if you want to become an annual member at that point, you see, we slow the process down. We want you to make the best informed decision for you. But if you decide to become an annual member, you can get these tools on your desktop and you can start trading your game. Not mine, not Susan's, not anyone else's, but your game. Folks, the most valuable commodity of all. It isn't silver or gold or Bitcoin or the dollar or the euro. No. It's time. We can't buy it. We can't sell it. We can't trade it. But we can waste it. And I don't want to waste mine. This isn't for everyone. I can't promise everyone an outcome. I wish I could, but I can't. I can promise that I will work as hard, if not harder than you, during the Q School, trying to share with you the lessons that we have learned over the last few decades and the tools that we have developed over the last couple of decades. And I can promise you this, you will have fun, you will learn a ton, and you will never, for better or for worse, you will never look at the markets the same. I am Baggard, Stock Market Caddy. Call any day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 813-758-8263. Have a great weekend. Have a great trading life, investing life. Call anytime.